Hello folks, welcome to another Bitcoin market analysis by Inspocrypto. Um, to be honest, I I don't anything about the market because I was, the whole weekend, spent all the weekend with Phoenicia. Today, until end of the year, I still have 11 days to work, and they are going to be extremely stressy. So, yeah, don't have a lot of time to spend with the market. So, we will check the market together. I have tweeted today something. I know I didn't tweet anything, anything that helps you to figure out what's happening to the market on metrics level. But part of the whole thing, it's also to know what's happening in the whole environment with the finance market and general monetary policy and so on and so forth, in case we see something that could be very interesting. We are not going to talk now about every single tweet I have shared with you. One thing was, to be honest, very interesting. What I tweeted today, 3 hours just before, that was a graph showing, very interesting, to be honest, ink block, where they illustrated very well how much crypto and how much fiat flows in and flows out of the market. And it was very interesting to see that in the last 24 hours, we had a negative inflow, so more outflows than inflows, of 100 million in fiat, while 64 million more inflows in crypto, indicating they are cashing out. But usually when they are cashing out in fiat, doesn't mean that they are coming back. Of course, it depends what exchange they use. They can use that fiat as well to rebuy. It's also possible. But usually they use stable coins also for arbitrage, for example. So it's quite interesting. Well, everything else wasn't really helpful. I mean, the only thing that's really crazy is this BIS warning. So the Bank for International Settlement warning about 80 trillion US dollars of hidden FX swap debt. And if you check a little bit this article, because it's really interesting. I mean, 80 trillion is it's huge. And they are talking about debts, but they are not talking about, that it's a risk to fail the settlement, for example. But if you read the article and you go a little bit lower, you find one part that's really interesting, and that's really not good at all. It estimated that 2.2 trillion worth of currency trades are at risk of failing to settle on any given day due to issues between counterparties, potentially undermining financial stability. I mean, the message is extremely straight, and it's really strange that nobody is talking about that. But yes, usually you need to have such a counterpart. But I can also imagine with the whole environment and the whole monetary policy, it's not that easy at the moment to attract. So that could be a big problem. And if we see who is involved in all these trades, are usually pension funds, for example, insurance and even banks, of course, but it's mainly really asset managers and so on and so forth. So absolutely not great at all. And maybe that also explains a little bit, why we still have this pivot narrative sometimes, yelled by the Wall Street. But to be honest, it's the article doesn't give enough details to know. I mean, they are making a warning, but at the same time, we need to know, if X swaps. You have different terms and durations in if X swaps. You can have short term, 1 month, for example. You can have 3 months, 6 months, 1 year, and so on and so forth. And then with what currency pair? I mean, usually they use US dollar euro, for example, but I'm still missing some informations there to have a better, clear picture. However, those 2.2 trillion worth of currency trades that, are at risk of failing to settle, that's really crazy. That's really a lot. Okay, but I would say that's it for the beginning. I'm just checking what I have tweeted. That was the biggest one. US manufacturing orders in China are down by 40%, and what a logistics manager described to CNBC as an unrelenting demand collapse. Why should happen that if the consumer demand is still intact? That's the big question behind. And usually the demand by whole retailers or retailers in general, they of course have to see that their money is not at risk. I mean, so I guess, that's just a guess, but just reading this sentence, it's indicating that manufacturers in the US are expecting less demand for the next month. So I would say we are on track. You remember what I said? Inflation will go down, but it will not go down because inflation is rising. I mean, indirectly it's happening because of that, but not only. It's a global effect because of a global disruption in our global economy. And the Fed can just control the fire, but it can't fight the fire. It's not possible under this scenario. And that's what I'm mentioning over and over again when people are talking about pivot. And pivot will happen, in my opinion. It will happen, it will be required, but it will not fix the problem. And we will see a deflation in the future, in my opinion. Or they just prefer to have a hyperinflation, means it will skyrocket because they want and prefer to avoid a pivot situation, and so pivot before inflation starts to go down because of consumer flip in behavior. Something that, in my opinion, if it's just for short term, it would make sense, but I'm sure they are not going to do it. So we will see. But one little confirmation about the Circle: USDC cancels plans to go public at a 4.5 billion evaluation. We can talk about that, but not necessary. We all know how the market looks like at the moment, so I guess it's not going to attract this 4.5 billion evaluation. I don't think the evaluation is the problem. I don't think it's too high, or because, we remember the huge evaluation for Facebook. It was just a big one, that covered a lot of, headlines in the past. and it worked. So, but of course, it was a different environment at the moment, even with the monetary policy. Now, with all the crypto collapse companies or companies that collapse, like FTX, for example, many people are talking about FTX. I don't care about FTX that much. Even I know it was a hub of capital within the crypto space, but I care more about Grayscale, about Genesis, about Silvergate. I care about these guys because if they fail, that's going to be very hard for bulls, in my opinion. So let us go forward and see. I think also here we are at the moment on track. We will see if that's going to play out. At the moment, in my opinion, it's not going to play out because, otherwise it means that DXY is going to hull, something I doubt it will. So in my opinion, it could make another kind of dead cat bounce, make such kind of, of move. And well, it seems that Bitcoin wants to follow, means we would go, so retest that area to go down and look for 69, maintain there a while before we can break out to the downside. As mentioned last week, I trust at the moment Bitcoin more than equities, but it seems that all their algos are still very active and synchronized with Bitcoin, and that's not good at all because I'm not expecting anything good related to equities, to be honest. So that's a good start to go forward and to make a quick overview what's happening here. First of all, the Wales ratio 30 days moving average, as mentioned many times, is just, it is delayed because it's a 30 days moving average. So it went down for a few days, and then afterwards it lifted up. Even it went down once again, and then it's lifting up. So that's something we will see that in the next few days. It should go up once again, and that's indicating that whales are still sending bitcoins to centralized exchanges. So if we take a look to the 1 hour time frame of the Wales ratio, we can see that the Wales ratio dumped once and lifted up afterwards again, indicating, we let you go up. That's what it happened. And then we want to distribute. And when they start to distribute, I was saying that it's just crazy. Someone asked me yesterday, do you see something in the current price action? And I said, yes. It's a game, market traders against passive traders. Passive traders, those who are only using orders, so algorithm, but some of them are also using market trades, and market traders. So when you say, I just want to buy now 2 Bitcoins, for example. And every single time when, market traders pushed up, you have seen just an order flashing up, waiting to unload. That was all the time, for both positions, even if the bear started just to maintain the price stable, but at the same time to make money. And it was looking like, I was checking the volume delta sometimes, it was 400, 500 Bitcoins at once, and I thought, what is happening? At the same time, another order flashed to maintain the price stable. That was, looking like distribution in a very smart way, while trying to push up a little bit the price to let jump in some people and to buy the dip at the same time. So it was looking very interesting. So I said, I don't care. The price can go up, but the price will go down. It will. And it looks like we retraced after another time where we failed to go up to 17.5, and we are right now very close to 17k. As mentioned, I think we will go more down. I just started my hedge long at 17k, while I still have my short open. So if we go a little bit up to retest the break to the downside, I will close my long afterwards, and so we will see. However, that's how it looks like. If we check here a little bit, we can see that the centralized exchanges, their stablecoin reserves are still very flat, really very flat. If we check here, yeah, stablecoin supply, as mentioned so many times, I don't know how, and sometimes it takes a lot of time to load. I don't know what CryptoQuant is doing here with the stablecoin supply. I really don't know. However, but we need to be extremely careful, because in my opinion, we should see a sharp price move very soon. This week, nothing big, to be honest. So we had today ISM non-manufacturing PMI. It was better than expected. Tomorrow, short-term energy outlook. Wednesday, crude oil inventories. Thursday, initial jobless claims. Okay, and Friday could be interesting. That's the PPI, the producer price index, that measures the change in the price of goods sold by manufacturers. So those guys who are demanding less in China, well, the same guys have a producer price index, the PPI, and that's a pre-indicator for inflation. Because you can imagine, if their prices go up, usually, they are not going to absorb the inflation, so they give the inflation to the next one. That's mainly the retailer, and the retailer then to his clients. It depends if they're a retailer, because it has, a lot of stuff still unsold in their warehouse. They could start to bring better prices to attract just consumers. But usually when you have less demand by producers, by manufacturers, means they got a signal from retailers as well. So when they see, because of course retailers are not ordering, for example, if we talk about fashion, they are ordering now for the next season. And if they see that the order volume is declining, of course they will produce less, and that's just reducing in volume order, because they see that consumer demand is declining. So we will see what's going to happen. I think Friday could be a very interesting day. We will see. They are forecasting 0.2%. If it goes a little bit up, means inflation should also lift up. If it goes down, we know, okay. So both is possible, because, even I think it's just too early to say that consumer behavior flipped, but we will see. Okie dokie, that's it. Let us go to the next one. This one was a really, really long initial chapter. So once again, flow activity relatively low. I mean, today the biggest one was 1,500 bitcoins in 1 hour. It's absolutely peanuts. Outflows, not even that. We are talking, the maximum was 500 bitcoins. So absolutely nothing. Stable coins, we can see here in the last 3 hours, 550 millions in outflows, while at the same time 400, let us say 500 millions. It's not even 500 millions, but we have more outflow in stablecoins here, indicating, usually, as mentioned so many times, it correlates. So we had here a little bit more inflow than outflow, or for example here as well, it correlates. Even here it correlates once again we had here even more outflow, indicating that they are just reacting. They don't want to push the price up. They are just absorbing to maintain the price of 17K. So yeah, you have to decide, but in my opinion, that doesn't look great. I'm still waiting to see more green than red. That could be an indicator that, you know, money is coming in to buy the dip, but at the moment not happening. Well, let us go forward. So if we take a look, we can see here, what is the green one? Derivative exchanges. I don't care about that one. Okay, and everything is nice. So the funding rate maintains unchanged. It's still in this channel here, sometimes going down, now going up, indicating they are demanding more longs at the moment, but absolutely nothing happening. Open interest lifted up a little bit, declined, recovered, and it's declining once again. Also here with the leverage ratio, nothing is happening. I'm not sure if we have a really big problem here, even with future market, that it's even possible. I mean, stable coins to derivative exchanges, nothing, peanuts. Okay, let us say it's Monday, and that's because of that. I'm fine with that, but I would expect to see a rising volume in the coming days. If not, something is wrong. Even here, Bitcoins related to derivative exchanges. You remember just a few months ago, 8,000, 10,000 Bitcoins, 2,000, that's the maximum. 2,300, 2,400, that's it. Everything else, it's even for outflows. 2,300 was the maximum. It's, I don't know, it doesn't look great. It doesn't look great. Also here, relative to, for example, if we check over the weekend, they didn't really liquidate something really low in volume, 380 Bitcoins, but nothing, absolutely nothing. Over the weekend, absolutely nothing happened. Also here we can see open interest not really recovering, declined even more. Leverage ratio after its all-time high here in October, declining, still relatively high, but, and well, funding rate in this channel here still, you know, so since we reached the new level of between 15 and 17, the market is really going down, in my opinion. That's Binance, and we can see on Binance here the main driver. Once again, funding rate maintains in that channel. Open interest lifted up over the weekend and started to decline, like the leverage ratio. Not clear. I haven't seen any huge liquidation, so it seems someone did. It's, you know, it was longing and started to close its positions, and that would explain a lot. So if we take a look here to blockchain whispers, yeah, what should I say? I mean, we still have more longs than shorts, but the gap is not that big anymore. 44 to 56. Almost the same we have on Ethereum, so looks great. On Bitfinex, shorts declined a little bit, nothing big, so nothing here. Let us check the Kingfisher. What? Why? Let me, okay, so give me now my chart. Connections 13. Yeah, that looks great. So once again, if they want to liquidate, well, what happens here? Look, you remember 250 millions last week, 35 millions indicating no. So yeah, that's what I'm feeling, that the future market is cooling down extremely, and I don't know why. I really don't know why. However, we have here liquidation cluster that could bring exchanges to its attention. The next one would be here, you know, and everything, yeah, on short side here, and otherwise maybe here or here. So we are talking about everything above of 20k. So in my opinion, it would also make more sense to go hitting 16,500 once again. And that would make sense if you want to liquidate all these longs here. But that's crazy. 35 millions instead of 250? We had even over 200 million last Friday, if I'm right. Well, that's it. Let us go forward. So, Binance, BTC USDT pair. We have here the spot CBD. The aggregated one looks very accurate. Bitcoin collateral. Looks like they want to short. They started to short EMI here. And also stablecoin shorts. They stabilized now, but yeah, you know, it doesn't look that great. So if we check what Binance did just over the weekend, you see they didn't really push the price up a lot, at least not with market rates. And the aggregated looks absolutely different. We will check who was responsible for that. We have Bitfinex here. As you see, Bitfinex at the moment not doing anything. Let us check what they did. So, you know, just pushing up, stabilizing since the top, but they didn't sell. At least the CBD not indicating big sells, even with the volume. If we check the volume, doesn't look very big. Okay, interesting. Kraken. So Kraken started to sell. Well, nothing big, not at all. Let us check what they are doing or what they did. Also here, nothing indicating, also pushing up with market rates, but also looks relatively accurate to the price. And the question is, who was responsible for the aggregated spot? Because it went up very hard and then afterwards down. That's Bybit. Bybit went up and hard down. Potentially, but not enough volume in my opinion. So we can check that's Coinbase. Not even Coinbase. So Coinbase started to push up here, also maintaining. And that's Bitstamp, and Bitstamp ultra bullish. Market traders buying. So I don't know who was responsible for that here. Bitstamp, Bittrex, Gemini. I don't have Gemini. Let me check Gemini. Well, that's Gemini, but to be honest, also nothing. So, and not even big volume here involved. So, absolutely not. I don't see what happened here, to be honest, because someone had to push up very hard, so buying more than selling, but I can't see who was responsible here. I really don't know. So yeah, let us check what the market maker is doing here. We check the fund flow. If we see anything that, well, it's sending once again, send here 1,500 bitcoins to let the price go up and to start to distribute. and they, yeah, are sending, but not big at all. Let us check here. Ooh. Oh my god. So weekend since the second, we had Friday 4,850,000 bitcoins by market maker, and now we have 60,000 less. That's a new low. Okay. But here that looks different. No. Huh? Okay. But that's weird, even lower it seems. A little bit. It's November 5th. That's today. Ah, November 5th? Where's December? Here's December. Where's here December? Oops. Okay. Never had that, but it seems that okay, Sembase has a problem with its data. It's missing here. Yeah, it's missing here. I was wondering. Okay. Oh, that's crap. That's really crap. In case, I hope they fix that. In case they fix that, I will just tweet the chart afterwards. Never had that. It's still missing here. All the data we have seen just before. That's wondering me a little bit. Okay, then let us go forward. Nothing have changed here. Well, I mean, market activity declining more and more. Nothing happening related to miners. So reserves lifted up once again. Also very interesting what happened here, but no signs of bigger outflows at the moment. Yeah, and that's it. We can go forward and check what's happening here. They changed also something, so we can see that, for example, you know, on both sides it's declining. I would say even declining more on that area, so more outflows at the moment than inflows. Let us check balance exchange if it's declining. Yeah, it's declining. So still too high. We still have this gap here. From here to here means from here almost to here. We are talking about 75,000 Bitcoin still on centralized exchanges. So not good at all. And we can check exchange volume. That's also very interesting. Yeah, I'm bringing more stuff at the moment. So it seems that the volume is lifting up once again. So very, very interesting. Can we see the next contract? No, the next report still not available. It's now the last one, November 15th. I don't know, updated November 21st, but it doesn't appear here. Let us check, because that would be also very interesting. Oh yeah, both declined, longs and shorts by hedge funds. Okay, not really. Longs a little bit higher, but nothing. 7 millions gap. but shorts, longs declined by 60 millions. While large open interest holders on CME Bitcoin futures are lifting up big from 109 to 114. What should I say? I would say neutral, nothing big. Okay, that's it. Let us go forward. Well, now I don't know why, but now it works. So what we see is that actually the market maker entities we can see. Oh, let us just go and check all of them. Retailers maintaining. This guy's lifting up. This guy's declining. We know by the dip, sell afterwards. That's what they do. Market maker entities reduced from Friday. No, it went up over weekend from 4,620,000 by 10,000 bitcoins. So nothing big. And these guys, well, maintaining, I would say, lifted up and declined afterwards. And okay, this guy is also lifting up. Why it's here, no, and not here? I don't care. Okay, but I would say nothing big changed here as well. So we need to check. But interesting that it didn't work and now it works. Whatever. So on Coinbase, if we check, we have at 17.5 waiting or at 15,500. Actually, with at 16k we have another wall, but that's it. That's at the moment. That's it. They reduced a lot liquidity to the downside. For example, here 13,500 at 14.5. But nothing happening, and at least related to CBD it's not indicating. They started to push up on CBD there, and now it's maintaining since we reached that level of 16k. Usually I would think they are going to buy as much as they can at that price, but no, it seems not. So Deribit also reduced a lot of liquidity. We have walls at 13,800. That's perpetual. So for longs, and for shorts, wow, we have a lot here between 17,400 and 17,600. So yeah, even they reduced orders here, but at least related on Deribit doesn't look great. So if we check, for example, here now Bitstamp, they reduced, so they removed even their order at 18k. We still have one at 19,800. And well, we have this sandwich here. They reinforced this sandwich even at 13k, for example. Also very interesting why they are doing it. I really don't know, but interesting. So nothing big here. Binance Spot. Well, we see I have some lines here, and we had, that's not really a breakout, but we had a breakout, then it follows the trend line. We retested, failed, and we went down and we created, or we started to follow this trend line here. Then we went up. I thought maybe hitting 77, but not even. They were here just limiting. And well, so it went down. It break to the downside. Now I am not sure if they are retesting. At least they are here protecting the price, so they don't want to let the price go down at the moment. We need to see if that's going to happen. Otherwise we can still make this move here hitting 17,800 or something. because we still have a big sell wall there. So that's the big question, if that's going to happen. At the moment, everything looks like nada, nichts. So nothing will happen at the moment. We will maintain. I don't see anything that looks like a sharp price move coming. They reduced liquidity at 16K, at 15.5, and even here you can see how much liquidity they, even at 13,000 and so on and so forth. Instead, we have here now this wall here at 19,000. Doesn't mean we are going to trigger this one, because you know we had this just before and the price didn't went up, because these guys are usually waiting there. As soon as someone is trying to push up, they push down. So at the moment, nothing happening here. It's a very boring Monday, trading Monday. So Bitfinex spot, we have at 16.4. It's 16.4. Yeah, and that's it. Even here they reduced liquidity a lot. We have a wall at 15.7, but that's it. Instead, a lot of sell orders, but that's really it. At least they reinforced here, it seems, at 16K, so I think they are expecting something. OKEX spot, nothing. Kraken spot, remove the wall at 16.6. We have limitation to the upside at 17.5, and they started to sell back, as we can see here. Wow, volume delta of minus 300 bitcoins. That's a lot for Kraken. They had in this hour 434 bitcoin total volume in 1 hour candle, while only 66 purchased and 370 sold. That's really big. Bitget. Nothing happening here. Bitmax also here at 17.5. So it seems they are limiting at 17.5. And limiting at 17.5, it's, if that's not spoofing, just telling you they want really to sell at that price. So that looks like here a little bit like, yeah, not that much. So I thought many much. We have a gap of 1,000 bitcoins here between longs and shorts, and that until between 16.4 and 17.7. So it looks like here a lot wants to long, but it's also algo trading, so you know, arbitrage could also be possible. Still here a lot of orders waiting to short more than to long. Only here in that range we have more longs than shorts. Bitfinex derivatives, nothing. Kraken futures, nothing. OKEX futures, waiting at 16,600. OKEX swap, okay, selling, and still waiting at 16,300. And Bitget USDT pair, nothing happening. No, that's it.